In this first look video from InfluenceWP, we are checking out a WordPress plugin called WP Adminify. This is going to allow you to completely transform your WordPress dashboard experience, whether it's performance, security, the visual aspects, or what have you. Before we poke around the website here a bit and look at the actual solution together, just a quick bit of housekeeping. First look videos cover products we have no prior experience with. They show vendors how new users experience their website and product for the very first time. These videos are unedited, high-level introductions that are not paid for, they're not sponsored, and they contain no affiliate links. If you would like videos like this created for your business, go to influencewp.com/partners and request your free partner membership. And we thank WP Adminify for being a partner. If you like what you see in this video, go over to our website, find the deals area, and grab the exclusive offer for WP Adminify. All right, so the website we are on today is WPAdminify.com. So super simple domain name for you to find there and punch into your browser. What we're going to do is we're going to look for the features. We're going to read the internet and rattle off all of the features just to make sure we have all of those stated in case we miss any when we go to look at the actual solution. Then we're going to look for some key pages like an about page, a changelog, and documentation. All right. All right. So let's find those features first. I do see a menu item up here in the header navigation area. So I'm just going to click on that. All right. Explore features of the best WordPress custom dashboard plugin. Take full control of your WordPress dashboard. All right, so you're going to get some advanced customization, dedicated settings for WordPress dashboard customization, pre-made UI templates, custom background selection, color and types, global fonts, logos and favicon, light mode, dark mode, with scheduling even. That's really cool. Under admin menu, so we can manage the WordPress menu easily, drag and drop menu management with advanced settings, custom menu creation and navigational control, menu layouts, advanced submenu customizer, fonts, colors, and padding control, and so on. Under productivity, we can boost the speed and performance with built-in productivity enhancements. Advanced dashboard optimizer, media folder organizer, custom admin page enhancements, one-click reorder menu items, built-in content duplicator settings. Under security, we can protect the website from vulnerabilities and unauthorized access with smart redirection control, advanced header and REST API security, comment and feedback control, post data and archive optimization, custom branding with Gravatar, and then under performance, we can boost the WordPress admin dashboard with the advanced performance optimizer. So we can do things like clean and minimal resources loading, optimize JavaScript loading, disable Gutenberg for a cleaner experience. If you happen to be watching this, WP Adminify team, it looks like you've got a duplicate entry here. So that's why we do these videos. Advanced caching and compression. Moving on down, we've got code snippets. So all things related to code snippets, adding them, managing them, that sort of thing. And then last but not least, it looks like we've got a white label option to completely rebrand the WordPress admin dashboard. So it's setting your own logos, name, it looks like, secure and customize the login URL, customize the admin menu and dashboard experience, the login page with your brand, and that sort of thing, okay? All right, so those are the features, I believe. I think we have all that covered. There's add-ons. I'm not quite sure. So this I would classify this as other features. Let's go over to the pricing really quick. All right, so when you buy this, it looks like, let's just pretend you're getting the top plan. Okay, so it looks like, yeah, I'm not quite sure. Let's go see all features. So we saw all of those features. Let's go back over here. Check out the add-on. So let's go see if we click on this, what happens. Choose your plan. Oh, okay. So this looks like a completely different site, maybe? Yeah, so this is a different site. Okay, I got it. Okay, I see. So let's back up here. So we have WP Adminify. This is literally the first time I'm looking at the website like you guys. That's why we do these videos, to show exactly what the customer may face, right? Or potential customer. So we've got features and these add-ons, which it looks like it appears that it's, maybe with WP Adminify and you can kind of toggle them on, but it's actually leading to another site for a completely separate plugin. Okay. All right. Not a big deal. I just want to we just want to clarify all of that sort of thing. All right. So let's go back over to pricing one more time. Okay. So you get everything in there. They do have a lifetime bundle, and it looks like it comes with some other. It looks like That looks like that's where some of the add-ons come in. So let's go back over here. One of the add-ons was Loginify. So if we go back here to the pricing, yeah, okay. So it looks like if you go and you buy this lifetime bundle, you're going to be able to get all of the add-ons included. All right. All right. I think so. I think we're straight on that now. All right. So that's the features. Let's look for documentation. There we go. All right. So here it looks like we've got the main documentation for WP Adminify. Let's go in there. All right. So we've got some screenshots with annotation. That's fine. It looks like we have some search in here. Let's just do a search for the word security. All right, this looks good. How do we enable the header security in WordPress? So the search works. All right, that is good. All right, documentation is great. Let's go over to change logs now. And we see what I love to see, which is dates that the latest version was released, and then the version number. So that's great. And then obviously what changed in there. So great change log. Nothing really to say there. Next up, we want to look for an about page. All right. Not seeing an about page. Okay. Not the end of the world, but you'll know if you've seen any of my videos that first look videos like this, that I recommend putting an about page on there. Put faces and names behind the team members, even if it's just one team member. Put a face and a name, a little bit about the company, a little bit about the team, and that helps establish customer trust. So I think that really goes a long way, and I definitely would recommend putting an about page on here. Now, you could have links down here in your footer that maybe this. Sorry about that. Maybe this link to Pixar Labs. Sorry, I keep doing that with my keyboard or mouse, I should say. This link down here, I'm afraid to click on that again. This Pixar Labs link could take you somewhere, and there could be an about page on there. But you still should have an about page on here, in my opinion. Okay. All right, let's go check out this solution together. I have nothing but this plugin installed. We're looking at the premium version. So with that in mind, we also have to have the core version of WP Adminify in place. And we have the latest version of both. So we're ready to rock and roll. I do see now a menu item right here. So let's click it right there at that root menu item. And just as a reminder, these are very high level introductions. These are not tutorials. We're not diving deep into each feature and checking them all out, which is very high level introduction. Okay, I do see a setup wizard here. So I think my eyes are drawn to that, and I kind of want to just go jump into the setup wizard. So we're going to click into that. All right, welcome to the future of configuring WordPress. Let's go. Choose your UI, your user interface, default UI or the admin UI. All right, let's go check out Adminify UI. That's why we're here, right? To check it out. So let's continue with that. Add your website logo. So we can use text or an image. I'm just going to go ahead and go over here and choose the InfluenceWP logo if I have one. There we go. Continue. Install add-ons plugins. Okay, so this is interesting because remember when we started this, it looks like these are separate paid products. So what's going to happen when I install this? Let's try it, see what happens. Maybe there's a free version of these add-ons that you get, and then they, there's an upsell path to the pro version. All right, so then they give you a nice onboarding video here. We're going to skip that. We can return to the WordPress dashboard, or we can customize more by going from here into the Adminify options. So we'll go into the Adminify options. This is kind of a neat touch right here. Just install WP Adminify. Time to create a unique personalized dashboard, and you can tweet that out. It's kind of neat. Okay, so remember we chose the WP Adminify dashboard. So now this has completely transformed our WordPress dashboard experience. All right, I do see up here that the logo is a bit stretched. So maybe they give you, see if we can get into WP Adminify. WP Adminify, here we go. Maybe there's some guidelines on what that image size should be. So that's a square image that I put in there. So we need something more, landscape, a different aspect ratio. So not a big deal. It looks like we can quickly toggle off the Adminify UI by doing that and saving changes and maybe refreshing the screen. Yeah, okay. So that brings you right back to the default WordPress dashboard experience. We're going to go ahead and stick with the Adminify UI because that's what we really want to test out here. Okay, so under here, we are under the Customize tab. We have the default template selected, but you see that you can easily browse through and get some predefined templates. It looks like you have the ability here to click on this color wheel and then customize things to your exact branding, to your liking. Okay. One of the things I prefer dark mode. So one of the things I would want to do right off the bat is look for the dark mode, because since I like working with dark mode, I'd want to continue my experience customizing WP Adminify in a dark mode setting. So I see down here under layout mode, there's a dark mode. So I'm going to turn that on. Save settings and refresh. All right, so now we have a dark mode experience. That is really cool. We can set a custom background if we want. Then once we do that, we can do a gradient background or an image background with all kinds of background settings. This is really, really neat. All right, we will skip that for now. We can choose the font family for our WordPress dashboard. We can choose a favicon for the admin screens. We can choose a logo for within the Gutenberg editor. We've already turned on dark mode, so you've got light mode, dark mode, obviously. And then it looks like you can set a different logo based on which mode. So if you're in light mode, you can set a light logo. If you're in dark mode, you can do that as well. Oh, here's the logo size. Okay. So they tell you, give you like a default what they're looking for. So that's cool. We've got a mini logo. I'm not quite sure where that's going to go. We could look at the documentation. A little bit of feedback. It might, it'd be cool to have like a tooltip here where you can just like one of those information icons. You can kind of hover over and figure out quickly what this stuff is without diving into documentation. We can schedule dark mode. So maybe there's a certain time of day you're working in your dashboard and you like to flip over to dark mode because it's better on your eyes. You can do that. So that's really neat. All right. There's a search form that's turned on by default. Or is a search form? Yeah, search form. I'm not quite sure where that is appearing. Maybe up here. And you click on this icon in the top right. Notifications icon. I think that's what it is, because then we've got this icon up here for the notifications. Light and dark switcher. Yeah, so we can quickly toggle that on and off. You see that in the top right corner. Post status background colors. So we can set a different color if a post is published, it's pending, future, private, draft, or trash. And then down here in the bottom right, I'm seeing the option. If you need to reset everything and start over, you can do that. Or if you need to just reset a section, I'm assuming that because we are in the customized area section, that's what that would reset. And we also have those buttons across the top here. That's cool. We've got a quick link to some documentations, to the video tutorial, to their Facebook group and support. All right, that's really, really cool. So let's go over to the admin menu next. We default to the menu editor. And here, what can we do? We can add items to the menu. So put a name on there, a link, open in a new window, add a separator, choose which roles or users get to see this, and set a custom icon. And then we can choose a submenu. All right. So that is our custom menu. Here it looks like, okay, so you can just kind of drag things around. Can I click into these? Yeah, there we go. So you click into those, and you can change the name, the link, as we've already talked about, on the roles and the icon. Cool, cool. All right. Pretty self-explanatory. Just customize the menu as you would like to. Under settings, what type of menu do we want? Vertical is the default. We can set horizontal. Once you set horizontal, you can set the menu item style, whether it's icon only, text only, or both. When you're in vertical menu when you're in vertical menu mode, you can set the menu mode as default, folded, rounded. So you get all these different options based on choose one option, other options unlock. So you can completely customize the look and feel and the UI of the admin menus. That's really, really cool. Submenu style, two-step, or an accordion, or a toggle. User info, show or hide user info with avatar and admin menu. Toggle that on. Text, icons, avatar type, rounded or square. Super, super powerful stuff. We're not going to get into all the settings. Like I said, high level overview of what's possible. There's too many things to set. We'd be here all day, right? Okay, menu styles, font settings, menu width, menu wrapper padding, parent menu padding, all kinds of padding options, all kinds of color setting options, the wrap background, menu hover, text color, submenu colors, notification colors. There's so much in here. All right, I think you get the gist here under the admin menu. Let's go over to productivity. Hide admin notices, screen options, and help tab. So just basically show or hide this stuff. Wow, then when you toggle that on, then you've got other granular options for what you can hide. Screen options and help tab, turn that on, you get more options. Folders for post types, turn that on. Again, granular options, media folders if you want. Admin pages, custom admin pages for creating top level or sub level menus, supports all page builders, Gutenberg, Elementor, Bricks, Oxygen, Divi, etc. So you can create custom admin pages for creating top level or sub menu items. Wow. Okay. I'm gonna have to do a separate video on this that is like a tutorial, or maybe there's just so much in this thing. Dashboard and welcome widget, create custom dashboard and sidebar widgets. Okay. So we toggle that on and we click save. Do we have to, when we refresh, does that open something up? Okay, here we go, dashboard widgets. So let's turn that off and see if that goes away. Okay, that's what it is. Okay, so some of the stuff you toggle on and you're gonna get different options under here. Post types ordering. So you can, this is, a lot of times this is a separate plugin, the ability to reorder post types and you can sort them. filter, sort them, all those types of things. Sortable taxonomies, wild. All right, moving on down, menu duplicator. Enable menu duplicator to increase your productivity. Okay, so I'm assuming that's duplicate entire menus, and so you don't have to start from scratch. That's what I'm assuming. Post duplicator. This is also a tip, a lot of times a separate plugin or a code snippet just to get this to go. But you can duplicate post pages, categories, tags, link categories, pattern categories. Custom admin columns. Add custom admin columns for post types and taxonomies. Very, very cool. There's like the ability to show a post like an ID. So if you've ever been like, for example, in your posts table and you want to quickly grab the ID, you can hover over the post or the page or whatever, or even a product in WooCommerce, for example, and get the ID. But it's nice to have it just right there in the column where you can copy it if you need or reference it. So a lot of just really nice convenience functionality is in this plugin. Media settings, media attachment settings, post thumbnail on RSS. All right, let's go ahead and move on. Widgets. It's not to. I'm not discounting that this stuff isn't great. It's just there's just so much here. We would be here all day. We got to just have to keep moving on. Widgets removal. Remove unwanted sidebar widgets and dashboard widgets. Okay. So we've got sidebar widgets we can disable and dashboard widgets we can disable. Disable Gutenberg editor for widgets if we wanted. All right, let's move over to security. We can redirect URLs. We can work on header security. When you toggle that on, you've got different options here for removing links, disabling XML, RPC, things of that nature. Feed links, we can disable all RSS, Atom, RDF feeds, and so on and so forth. REST API, we can disable the REST API. Remove X powered by for server response in HTTP headers. We can disable comments for specific post types with additional functionality. This is really amazing stuff. Posts and archives. Redirect unused archive pages to the homepage. And then you've got more options once you turn that on. Custom Gravatar images. Add your custom Gravatar images for comments. Select avatar image from, and they give you a path. Here you can turn that on, select your image, give it a name. Very nice. Moving over to the performance tab, we can disable embeds. We can control the heartbeat. So we can do that at a granular level as well. We won't get into what that is, but just know you can look that up. But controlling the heartbeat API can add, help with the performance of your site. But definitely go check that out. Performance enhancements. Looks like some of these are turned on by default, but we've got others like remove dash icons, remove Gravatar, remove versions from styles and script is turned on by default. Remove all emoji styles from scripts, and scripts from the header section is on by default. And we have other options there. Disable Gutenberg 4. Clean up Gutenberg form and Gutenberg template. Clean up Gutenberg form in Gutenberg template. Remove the backend Gutenberg block editor and scripts for the entire site. Interesting. Interesting. We also have the ability to remove front-end Gutenberg styles and script. So if I go into a post, this one we might look at. Let's go back out of here. Let's go over to our post, for example. And we go in here, and this is the Gutenberg editor. So what happens if I go over here and we go back into WP Adminify, performance, disable Gutenberg, and let's try to remove Gutenberg from the entire backend. Refresh this post. Wow. It definitely worked. That is wild. All right. That is what that is. Let's go ahead and just turn that back off. Refresh. All right, there we go. Okay, there's just so much to get into. Let's press on. Keep pressing on here. Code snippets. If you need to want to add code snippets to your site, you can add. There's an admin scripts tab and a front end scripts tab. So admin is going to be stuff for the back end, and front end scripts are like sounds, things for the front end. They're wanting you to, for the front end scripts, to install custom header and footer plugin is not activated. I do believe that is a free plugin. Let's go ahead and click install now on that. Yeah, right here, header and footer scripts. No, that actually looks like that is a paid product. Let's go install now and see what happens. All right, that's installed and activated. Let's go over to our plugins because remember we installed that other add-on during the setup. All right, here we go. So we got our plugins, activated plugins. All right, so the admin bar editor, that is what we enabled during the setup wizard. And it looks like there is a free version. And then there's a free version of this right here. Nope, that's activate license. That's interesting. I would love some clarification on this because from what I'm seeing, the admin bar editor that we installed during the setup looks like it's completely free. But it looks like what we just installed here, if you don't activate the license, you're not going to get the newest versions and probably not support, which is fine. It's just, that clarification I think would be good. There is an indication here. It says buy now. So, all right, that is what it is. Let's go back over here to code snippets. Now that we have that in place, we can add a snippet to the front end. Okay, so admin scripts, add custom CSS, custom JavaScript. Let's go ahead and click add new snippet here, give it a title. Where do we want to display it? So we have some conditions, location, header or footer, or before content. Oh, that's interesting. It's interesting. So it looks like the free version does allow you to do the header and footer stuff, but if you need to do a little bit more, like before content, that's a paid feature. You need to get that license in there. Interesting. To control on devices, that's an upgrade. Snippet type, CSS or JavaScript. And that is that. All right, let's go ahead and go over to white label. So we can, looks like the footer. So at admin footer, it looks like it's showing the IP address in the footer now. So if I scroll down, yeah, there we go. So we got all of that information over there in the bottom right. Cool. So you can control all of that. Show IP address, PHP version, WordPress version, memory usage, memory limit, memory available. All right, that's fun. Memory usage, 10 meg of 1 gig, so 1%. And here we can put some text. So like imagine, my agency, we do, WordPress maintenance and support and things of that nature. So you could put, to white label this, you could put a link. We could put a link to our site, my site, down there, and then a little bit of text. So that's kind of cool. Moving further down, we can put my company logo, light or dark mode. I can change the plugin name, so I could act like this plugin is one that I actually created, even though I didn't. So, that's white labeling. Put a description for the plugin. Developer agency name, that would be the name of my company. Menu label, same thing. Menu icon you could set. plugin URL. So that could be a link back to my own agency site. Hide all row meta links. All plugin meta links will be removed. Upgrade settings, etc. Oh, that's interesting. So if we go back to the plugins table, I think what they're talking about here is we can remove all of this right here. So version, and then who the plugin's by, and then the link. Let's try this out. Hide all row meta links. All plugin meta links will be removed. Upgrade settings, etc. Okay, so that's removing all of them. Let's do a before and after. So I'm going to duplicate this. Okay, yeah, so it did. It did it? All right, we'll do a before and after. So let's go turn that off, or on, I should say. Refresh here, and then, so they look exactly the same. I must be misunderstanding this. Hide all row meta links. All plugin meta links will be removed. All right. Oh, maybe they're not, maybe it's not, okay, I misunderstood. So maybe it's not the plugin table. So for example, let's go to plugins. Let's turn on, for example, WooCommerce. So here we see that under WooCommerce, we have a settings submenu in here. So let's see if we can hide that. So if I turn that back on, nope, settings is still there. Okay, I must just be misunderstanding what this is. Let's try just to hide this settings option. Nope, still there. Okay, we'll go ahead and move on. I'm not quite sure what that's referring to. Then there's this option down here at the bottom, force disable white label. When enabled, the white label settings will be completely hidden. Okay, so what that means is if you want to hide the fact from your clients, for example, that you are white labeling this, you can click this box right here, and it's going to do that. And then they give you a way to get back in and change that setting back. All right, let's move on to backup here. So we have the ability to back up our config settings. We can export and download them. So if we have if you're an agency, you have multiple client sites, you can bring this config in there so you don't have to start from scratch. So that is really nice. All right, what else do we have left? I think we're almost done. We went through the setup wizard. Let's check out what this admin bar editor does. All right, admin bar editor. Remember that was that add-on that we dropped in during the setup wizard. So in the back end, we can, looks like you can move some stuff around. That's interesting. We can hide the logo. We drop this down. We can, all right, so this isn't quite dark mode yet. Let's go back over to WP Adminify and let's go light mode. Just so we can see this better. All right, here we go. WP logo. This is the stuff we can turn on or off. WP logo, the name of the site, what the status of the site, which is live. I think I believe that's a WooCommerce thing. Comments, new post, page, whatever, WP Adminify. Toggle that off. We're on top secondary group. Adding items looks like it is a pro feature. So you can toggle all this stuff on or off. If we expand these, we have role capability, hide and show things based on role, set custom icons, adjust submenus, and then turn those on or off. rearrange them, adjust for roles, change the title. You get the idea. It's just, this is super, super granular what this thing can do. All right, more of the same stuff. More of the same stuff. But again, you can rearrange, turn on or off, hide by role, hide or show by role, and so on. Let's go to the front. That was the back end. Let's go to the front end. Disable front end admin bar. Okay, once you do that, a lot of stuff drops out. But if you don't do that, then you have the ability to customize that admin bar on the front end to your liking. And last but not least, we have an advanced tab here. We can adjust the admin bar position. So go from top, we can drop it in the bottom. Let's refresh. There we go. So that we see that menu down here now at the bottom. If I can get my keyboard to work, there we go. Okay. Under styles, we can come in here. We can change the background. This looks like a upgrade. Okay, so this is really, really cool. There's just way too many things to get into. We're already long in the tooth in this video, but there's just a ton going on. Performance, aesthetics. There's just so much. Security. So as you see here, productivity, security, aesthetics, performance, code snippets, white labeling, backups, tons of stuff going on with this plugin. All right, I think that's good. WP Adminify, if you like what you've seen in this video, you see the power, you see the granularity, really, really nice. InfluenceWP.com/deals. Grab that exclusive offer for WP Adminify if this is something you would love to have on your site. And I will see you all in the next video.